What is up, guys? SB coming at you with another OpenEmu tutorial. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to use KPD Avatar's Pokemon Maker to customize a certain Pokemon, put it into Emerald version while using OpenEmu. First thing you want to do is head on over to this website right here. The link will be in the description. Once you're here, go down to Game, and this will work with Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald. For this example, I'm using the American version of Emerald, so that's the game that I want to click. Next, I want to click VBA. After that, make sure that you have the output master code checkmarked, because if it's not, you're going to get a bad egg and it might glitch and freeze your game, and you definitely don't want that. So make sure that this is checkmarked. Next, scroll down to Pokemon Info. Here's where you're going to actually customize whichever Pokemon you want in the egg. So I'm going to go to Pokemon right here, and I'm just going to choose a random Pokemon. Let's do Eevee. Eevee's pretty popular. Next, go to box 14, spot 1. I recommend box 14 because it's the safest possible place that this egg can go. Next, if you want, you can customize the Pokeball caught. You can choose the gender, the Pokerus, and this is the most important part right here. Make sure that this is an egg, or else the Pokemon that we just put the codes in for will not obey you. So I recommend keeping the happiness at 0 because it's going to hatch the egg a lot quicker. Next, you can go down to the nature. For this one, I'll just do bold, but whichever one fits your Pokemon's nature the best, go for it. After you've done all that, make sure that this code box is checkmarked, because this is going to give us the GameShark codes in order to put into OpenEmu and give us the Pokemon that we just customized right here. So when you have everything specified to your specific specifications, it's a lot of specifics right there, scroll down to the stats. And this is where the EVs and IVs are going to come into play. The random DVs, max DVs, that means the IVs. And for now, I'm just going to do random DVs and random effort values. But you can customize these exactly to whichever EVs and IVs that you would want for the Pokemon. Next, go down to moves. And this is where you can customize the moves right here. For this, I'm not going to get too detailed into this, but let's just give this one Thrash, sure, it doesn't matter. But whichever moves that you want the Pokemon to have when it hatches, this is where you're going to be doing that. Next, if you want, you can customize the contest stats, ribbons, all that. I'm going to leave that alone just for now. So when we have everything specified, which is exactly that we need, we have the moves set, we have the stats set, we have the Pokemon that we want as an egg at 0 happiness. Remember, that's pretty important. Next, we want to scroll up and then click on samples to code. Everything that we just checkmark is going to be applied to these codes right now. So the first thing you want to do right after you're done customizing your Pokemon is go ahead, open OpenEmu, and click on Emerald version just for this example. Remember, this works for Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby and Sapphire, and Emerald as well. I'm just using Emerald as a base. Once you've gotten that open, I recommend going to a Pokemon Center and just stepping right outside of it, because going in and out of a door will reset these codes and it'll make it a little bit safer for you in order to ensure that you get a good egg, and that's what we're trying to get right now. First thing you want to do is copy this code right here, the code that's under anti-DMA. This is the master code. So copy that, go back into OpenEmu, go to the cogwheel, go to select sheet, and then add sheet. What I'm going to do for this is just have an M for master code, and then I'm going to paste that code right inside a code. To make things easier, I'm just going to click enable now, and this will make it so I don't have to go back into settings and then click on the code to enable it. So when that is enabled, I'm going to click add sheet. I'm going to go back into our Pokemon Maker, and this is where it gets kind of tedious. OpenEmu's code layout is a lot different from the other emulators out there. What they're going to need is, instead of it being vertically stacked on top of each other, they need to be horizontally right next to each other, separated by a plus symbol. So what I just did right there was the code layout looked like this. I backspaced and I shift plus right there. So that's what you're going to need to do in order to separate the codes from one another. I'm going to speed this up because it's very tedious, and it's actually easier to do this in here rather than going into OpenEmu and adding all the pluses in there. So I'm going to speed this up, but the idea of what I'm doing is I'm backspacing on each code so that they're right next to each other. And then I'm adding a plus, and that's how the codes are separated. So I'm gonna speed this up so you guys don't have to watch me go through every single code. Okay, now that we have the code separated by a plus symbol, we want to grab the front of the code, highlight all of it, copy it, go back into OpenEmu, hit that settings cog, select sheet, and make sure that this master code was done first, because this needs to be done first while checkmarked. If this is looking like your screen, you're golden, you're doing good. Go to add sheet, and I'm gonna describe this as Eevee, because that's the Pokemon that we want. And then I'm gonna paste this entire code right here into OpenEmu, right there. So I'm gonna enable this as well. I'm gonna add sheet. And now, the only thing to do next is to go inside of our game, head inside of the Pokemon Center, go to your PC, go to someone's PC, or if you're far enough in the game, they don't have a name there. Go to Move Pokemon, go to Box 14, and you should have an egg there. If it says bad egg, you've done something wrong in the process, and you want to close your game right now and restart. Because if you have a bad egg, this is how you get glitches in your save file, so you do not want that. But if it just says egg right there, you've done everything right. Withdraw it, put it in your party, and if you set the happiness to 0, it should hatch fairly quickly. What I'm gonna do is I've assigned a speed up button to my controller, and I'm just gonna run around, hit that speed up button. Should hack pretty quickly if it's at 0. And there it is. And there's our Eevee right there. The reason why we want to hatch it from an egg is because now it's our Eevee. We hatched it. Everything that's the trainer ID, the secret ID is ours now. So I'm not going to give it a nickname. And I'll just show you guys that we actually have an Eevee in our party. Let's put this to the top. And here's our Eevee right here. The move that we used was Thrash. That was the only move that we have so far, but you can customize whatever move you want. But basically, I just wanted to show you guys that this is possible now. We don't need GameShark codes in order to do this. We have the Pokemon Maker, and hopefully that this tutorial, step by step, helps you guys out. So, if you guys liked it, make sure you leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm SB, and I will see you next time.